This story I'm about to tell you is true. It really happened. That is the Charlie Brown theme song. I fucking hate Charlie Brown. But interestingly enough, growing up, I loved Charlie Brown. It was my favorite record. I would listen to it over and over again. Now, my mom was part of a cult. And they taught her to believe that if she meditated many hours a day, that she would reach the source of the universe, and that she would create peace for herself, her family, and the entire world. So we're playing my Charlie Brown record, me and my sister. And she's like, listen guys, you can play it one time per day, because I'm meditating, I'm trying to create peace for the world. And we're like, Mom, please play it one more time? She's like, okay. She goes to her room. And we finish it. I'm like, oh my God, I love Charlie Brown so much. I want to listen to it again. I want it again. She doesn't even know that she's in her room, the door's closed, she doesn't even know. And I sense a presence above me, and I look up, and there she is, white face and spittle coming out of her face. She's like, if you play that record one more time, I'm gonna fucking break it in half. I'm trying to create fucking world peace! And she goes back in her room. I'm like, she doesn't have the guts. My dad gave me this Charlie Brown record. So I say to my sister, let's put it on really quiet. She runs down the hallway, grabs a Charlie Brown record, smashes it on the floor. There's your fucking Charlie Brown! Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I dare to dream in a lullaby. That's a beautiful song. It's Over the Rainbow. It's the ukulele version. And my dad gave me ukulele when I was a kid. And I didn't know any chords, but I would run around. And my mom was meditating. She would go, stop playing the ukulele when I'm meditating for world peace. But I was so bored and lonely, so I'd creep down the hall. I'd sit by her door and listen. Nothing. She would shout, stop playing it! And I'd go back to the couch. But I was so bored and lonely, I'd just creep back down. The door flew open. I'm trying to fucking create world peace! I'm fucking meditating for the world! If you play that ukulele one more time, I'm gonna break it. And I run down the hall. I'm like, she doesn't have the guts to break my ukulele. My dad gave that to me. So I creep back down the hall. I'm so bored and lonely. Anyway, we're all here, right? I'm so bored and lonely, and I listen to the door.
Alright, you can
She slams open the door, grabs my ukulele, smashes it on the floor in 100 pieces. There's your fucking ukulele! Bitch! Speaking to the mic, bitch! Yeah! Speaking to the mic, bitch! Now work it, cause practice makes perfect. Come on, now work it. Practice makes perfect. That's for me and my grandma Shirley. I just came on you guys. I promised myself I would do it, and I did it. All right, so I grew up in a family of nudists, and so we didn't belong to like a beach club nudists, but we did walk around the house naked. So my 6-year-old mother would walk around the house naked, and she'd waddle over to the fridge and bend down. And you could see the crack of her ass and like her vagina lips, and sometimes she had a tampon in it. You could see the string hanging down, and it was like, oh my God, it's so fucking disgusting, right? So Yeah, so my brother-in-law is 6'2", 250 pounds, and he'd walk around naked. He'd waddle over the fridge, and he'd bend down, his balls are hanging there in silhouette. You know, like guys' balls, like they're not like symmetrical, like one's up higher, and you just like see it there, and I was like, oh my god, like will this ever end? So my sister was a beautiful woman. I couldn't even look at her, but she sometimes joined the tampon crew, and there she was, a little tampon thing, and I just thought I was gonna die. Like, I would wear shorts, I didn't want to get bit by a mosquito, my penis, or get sunburned. So, my mom was an activist. She was the founder of the Vaccination Liberation Army. Ooh, there we go. The Vaccination Liberation Army, which they believe that vaccinations not only do not prevent disease, but they cause diseases. So she was so into her cause that she would rather like Indian and African children die of like common diseases like polio than 1 out of 10,000 kids have a birth defect. So you can kind of like put her on the spectrum with like Bill Gates. He's the richest man in the world, and he decided, I'm going to do one good thing for the world. And he came up with, I'm going to vaccinate all the children of the world. So you can see he's like good and my mom is like pure evil. So my brother-in-law was a manager for bands. He managed Jennifer Lopez and the band Mudvayne. And my mom was like, use your connection to the music industry to help promote my message. And he's like, I'm not going to do that, you know, you're crazy, leave me alone. So he would even barricade himself in the room because we were visiting my mom and there were no locks on the doors, and he would have to like slide a desk behind the door. So my mom, she's naked there, a little like bush, a little red bush, and her little titty, like you know the African titties, like on the Discovery Channel, like no bra, little African titty, and like Irish African titty, right? And she's scratching the door, you're selfish, greedy, lazy. He was like, leave me alone. So one day me and my sister were lounging around the house, fully clothed, and I hear a noise, boom, and then boom. And my brother-in-law, he's sprinting down the hallway, and he's totally naked, and his pot belly's bouncing up and down, and his balls are flapping up and down. And it's kind of like, you know that old, have you ever seen like an old man on a couch, and he's like scratching his balls, and it's so disgusting. It was like that in slow motion. And right behind him is my naked 6-year-old mother, her African-Irish titties flapping in the wind. And like her butt's like someone took cottage cheese and like threw it against the wall. Like chariots of fire. Do, 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 do. And her pubic hair is in the wind. And like a cheetah on the Discovery Channel, she reaches out, grabs him, spins him around. Now they're face to face. And she's right in his face, and she faces bright red as spittle. She says, you're fat, lazy, stupid, selfish pig. And his face turned bright red. And with a shout, he picked her up and spun her upside down. Now they're both naked, right? And they're in the standing 69 position, and her legs are up in the air, and her vagina crack, and the red pubic hair in the butthole is right there. I don't know if she had a tampon that day. The string could have been there, like a little worm, like doot, 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 doot. So, and her face is right in his crotch, and he's like, I can't hear you. Speak it to the mic. And me and my sister were laughing so hard. And so I saw this look of inspiration on his face. He looked to the heavens like the ancient gladiators of Rome, and the clouds parted, and he had his sword for the killing blow. And she's sputtering, trying to get her head away from his cock. Put it down, I can't hear it. He grabs her by the back of the head, and he says, I can't hear you. Speak it to the mic, bitch! And he thrusts her head right to his cock. So me and my sister, this was the funniest thing we'd ever seen, because finally somebody had got my mom to shut up. So he puts her down, and now she's getting the pubic hair out of her face. You can't do it! That's sexual assault! And then she finally calmed down, and even she had to start chuckling because she knew that she'd been super annoying and that lines had been crossed. Fuck you very much. Thank you.
Give it up for Greg, everybody. First time on stage doing it here on Dada's. Awesome job, buddy.